This is Punchy Power London Loop. So wanted to go over how this race went, just starting off here, ready to go out the start gate, and what do you know, I thought I went out fast. I thought I went very fast, and then I started looking at my wattage and realized I did pretty good. And then all of a sudden this group just shows up right in front of me, and I realized that the performance on my laptop at the time didn't actually show the front group, so I was lagging behind. So I put in a good hard effort to get up to the front, so that way I can draft a little better. My goal is always to stay on the front group, especially since this is my first Category C race, official Category C race. I've raced a few Category C races in the past, and was able to do well. Top 10 finish in a couple of them, but in retrospect, I think that was more of the time slot than the actual group itself. But also but Zwift had me in Cat D for a long time, for what I felt like was a long time, especially since I was doing better in some of these Cat C races. So did a lot of rides over the last couple weeks, a lot of Zwift lab rides to try and improve my score. And as you can see here, just holding on to this front group, doing my best to stay with them. But on this part of the hill in London, I always get left behind. In the last couple races, it's happened. Same thing. I'm trying not to put too much power because I know I'm going to need my strength for Box Hill. So me and this group of two others just kind of pull together through this section right here, and I'm doing my best to let them pull me forward, even though I end up on the front anyways. So I take my turn, pull forward, and I see this person in front of me, and I start to do my best to catch up and use them to kind of slingshot me forward, and we kind of stay together for a little bit until we get to Box Hill. And so I'm using the Pinarello Dogma F 2024 with the Cadex 65 wheels, and so far that has been a great combination. I feel fast on that bike. I do feel really fast on that bike. So here we go, coming up to Box Hill, and man, it was a fight, as you'll see. So we're kind of all going back and forth. One of the guys ends up dropping immediately, and then me and this person here, I think Brady, something like that, we stay together for a little bit, kind of going back and forth. Baudry, Beaudri, so Baudry. So we stay together for a little while. You can see, he's kind of going back and forth, and then he starts to fall back, and then me and McCheesy, I think the name is, or McCasey, sorry, sorry, McCasey. We stay together for almost McKesney. I'm bad at reading these names. So me and McKesney stay together back and forth throughout the duration of the climb. You can see here's 20-30 meters back, but then I start to pull my power a little bit, because I'm starting to definitely feel it. You see my heart rate climbing up into the 170s, upper 170s, low 180s, and I'm doing my best just to kind of hold forward, maintain my distance, and I start catching up to this person in front of me, and as I start to see them, I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can catch them. So I start putting a little harder effort, make the catch, and I do my best to stay with them. And as you can see, the group behind me is kind of going back and forth and staying within a relative, good range behind me, where they're able to, essentially stay on my wheel a bit. So this person, Bateman, comes back, put a hard effort, and we kind of go back and forth, I think the remainder of the time. And so this is essentially how we spend Box Hill. And so here we go, coming up to the top of the KOM, and we all cross together, and they start to pull away from me, and I see one of the guys uses feather, and I haven't used my feather at all the entire climb, because I knew that on this part of the hill right here, I was going to use my feather, I was going to put out a good wattage, and I dropped them real quick. I was so excited about that. You see me huffing and puffing, but I was happy. I was glad I dropped them on that climb like I had planned. I feel like I used my feather at the right time finally, Even though I could have used it up Box Hill, I feel like that 10% got me the last couple times I've ridden this race. And so from here on out, it's me pushing in almost time trial mode to be able to get back to the finish line without them. So that was what I was thinking this whole time is, just keep pushing the effort. I can, again, put out another solid effort on this part of the hill, knowing that they could potentially catch me here, which they got close. They got within, I think, 40 meters. And then, again, powered through it, was able to drop them at that part of the climb, and then just time trial my way the rest of the way home to the finish, and just putting out what I feel like is my normalized power for being able to climb. So just doing what I can to put out some good sustainable watts, hold that FTP until I finally cross the finish line, which for me, I was absolutely excited. You can see in the thumbnail here that I am just ready to get it done. Just super hard effort, and oh man, I didn't have a little effort map on the bottom. That's right. So yeah, across the finish line, 5th place, excited, really proud of my effort, especially for my first Cat C race. Finished a couple minutes behind the leaders, which I feel like was a good, strong effort for me at the time, especially since I went into the race not really, focused on, on my usual, pre-hydration and, trying to boost my endurance up as much as I can physiologically. So this time around, I just went all out, went for it. And so 5th place here. Again, you can see my times, and then on Zwift Power, which should change here soon. On Zwift Power, I think it came in 4th, which again, for my average, especially when you look at the kind of power I'm outputting. And so here we go. So with Zwift Power, you can see that, came in 4th place. My average, I believe, was around, specifically my 5-minute power, was around 3.1 watts per kilogram. My average was 2.8, which for me, the 20-minute average, I feel like is getting stronger and helping me get to where I need to get to and progressing in these races. So wanted to share. Hope you enjoy.